Good afternoon. I'm Josh Racky, Cascade County Attorney. With me are Sheriff Jesse Slaughter and Captain John Schaefer of the Great Falls Police Department. We're here today to clarify how Governor Bullock's mask mandate affects community members and visitors to Cascade County. As your law enforcement team, it continues to be our responsibility to maintain public safety and defend your constitutional rights. You should know that as your government leaders, we will continue to tirelessly ensure your safety. Executive Order 2/2020 and 3/2020 declare that a state of emergency exists in Montana due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 novel coronavirus. Yesterday, Governor Bullock issued a mandate for residents and visitors of counties with 4 or more active cases of COVID-19 to use face coverings in certain situations. Cascade County currently has 24 active cases. Therefore, we must adhere to this mandate. For specifics on the mandate, please see the July 15th, 2020 directive available on the Governor's or Cascade City County Health Department websites. What does this mean to you and to the businesses of our community? In the most simple terms, if you are inside an area of a building that is open to the public, whether as a visitor or as an employee, you must wear a mask or face covering. Masks are not required when outside unless participating in an outdoor gathering where social distancing is not possible or is not being observed. As always, maintaining a physical distance of at least 6 feet is strongly encouraged. We recognize there are conflicting opinions regarding wearing masks, and not everyone agrees with the governor's request. With that in mind, we ask you to please set aside those conflicting opinions by simply complying with the governor's directive to wear a mask. It is important to understand that the businesses in our community are relying on the people's compliance. These businesses not only have the right to deny service to, but the obligation to ensure the safety of their patients. Please do not take your frustrations out on business owners and employees when they ask you to put on a mask, or if they ask you to leave if you refuse to do so. These businesses have a much greater responsibility to adhere to the governor's directive, as their licenses may be in jeopardy if they are non-compliant. It is also important to reserve law enforcement resources for law enforcement related offenses. Please do not call 911 or the non-emergency dispatch lines to report individuals or businesses that are failing to comply with the mask mandate. If you feel a business is not adhering to the mask mandate, please call the City County Health Department at 406-454-6950, or you can send them an email at health@cascadecountymt.gov. We must rely on each other and work together to uphold the governor's mandate and stop the spread of this dangerous illness. Ultimately, it is up to each of us to take the necessary measures to protect ourselves and our families. Your law enforcement team remains committed to serving you. Please stay safe and do everything in your power to stay healthy. Sheriff Slaughter would now like to make a statement, after which we will answer questions.
Thank you, County Attorney Racky. As always, both the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Montana still apply. These directives make it even more difficult for law enforcement to balance public safety with the individual freedoms that are your right. As your sheriff, I am required to put the constitutional rights of the public first. However, I am also required to do whatever I can to ensure public safety. I humbly ask all of you to please help our local business owners by following these directives so that they can remain open. I know this is a very difficult and stressful time for all of us. All citizens are in my thoughts and prayers, and as we live through this difficult time in our history. Thank you all. God bless. We'll now take questions.
What does enforcement of this look like?
So, speaking from the office of the sheriff, there isn't really a way that we can enforce this. We are not going to be the mask police. For example, you will not see us going out there stopping citizens for not wearing a mask. And and by the way that the governor wrote the directive, it kind of lays that out. If you're entering a public or private business open to the public, it's then upon them to ensure that people that are not only working but patrons that are coming in are wearing the appropriate protective equipment. If in the situation that somebody comes into a place of business and they are asked to leave and they refuse to leave, at that point it becomes a trespass issue, and that's probably where law enforcement could become involved. It kind of goes off what the governor said about the no shoes, no shirt, no service type thing, that basic premise.
So what does this mean for the restaurant industry?
It just means that simply that my understanding is you're required to wear a mask upon entering, but at the point in time that you're consuming food, you're no longer required to wear a mask because it's impossible for you to wear a mask while you consume food.
Other than just like the honor code system and businesses enforcing this, essentially, is there really no way to enforce wearing a mask then?
No, I think there absolutely is a way to enforce it. That's why we gave you the health department's email and phone number. They are the enforcement entity of this. We're just here to support them in that rare situation in which someone refuses to leave a place, and basically it becomes like a trespass issue. But no, that is entirely a health issue. So it will be enforced through them.
What's this look like for inmates inside the jail?
Not much different.
Is everyone going to be wearing a mask inside the pods?
Everybody that's inside no, not everybody inside the pods, no.
So you're going to have large groups of inmates together with no protection?
That we don't have a way that we can control that. We also have safety risks with the masks as well. The masks themselves invite a possible safety risk.
Can you describe what that looks like? What are the possible safety risks?
Due to their construction, strings, different things like that can be used, assaults, suicide, so on and so forth.
Okay. Are you worried about an outbreak in the jail?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you worried about an outbreak in the jail?
Absolutely, but we have contingency plans in place, and we've had the same contingency plans in place this entire time. So.
I was going to say, Josh, do you maybe want to explain the process if someone complains to the health department about a business not
Sure.
enforcing the rule, what that looks like?
So, if someone were to complain to the health department about a business not enforcing the rule, the first thing the health department's going to do is reach out to them and try to educate them on why they should be enforcing this rule. It's very important to enforce, and we just want people to comply. In the extreme situation, if someone refuses to enforce the rule in their business, there are ways under the Montana health codes that we can seek an injunction and close the business down for failing to follow these health orders. So, but I want to strongly let everyone know I don't want to do that. No one wants to do that. We just want everyone to wear a mask and be safe. And that's what we're here to tell you today.
How many complaints would that take to shut business down?
I don't know. It's not really a specific number.
Is it like a one-strike deal, do you think, at this point?
No, I mean, if we were to receive a complaint, the health officers would send out a sanitarian or public health nurse to talk to them first. That's the first step. It would take a number of complaints and pretty obstinate resistance before we would seek that. I mean, we want voluntary compliance. Remember, as citizens of Cascade County, you have a duty to protect yourself and to protect others. And that's what we're trying to do here, is make sure everyone stays safe.
Maybe, I don't know who wants. I heard this morning that there's already been an altercation over masks, I think, in the city. I don't know, has that happened, or are you guys worried about that at all?
I can't confirm that right now. I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Sheriff Slaughter, could you talk about the 911 center and calls to the
Sure.
inspection center?
I think it's imperative. We've already touched on this. We've already talked about the fact that the bulk of the enforcement of this issue lies with the health department. However, I want to kind of talk to the citizens of Cascade County. Do not call 911 about non-compliance with masks. You know, I regret to remind people of this, but we had a large violent crime increase that has not gone away that was happening before COVID-19. And we are still out there fighting crime every day, helping citizens, you know, finding lost dogs, you name it. We're out there doing that every day. And our 911 center is going to become extremely inundated with calls if this occurs. That is not, and I repeat this, 911 is not the appropriate call to make over somebody not wearing a mask. That is not an emergency. That is not the appropriate use of that system. Our dispatchers work extremely hard. They're very, very busy, and they do not have time to deal with the mask ordinance directive issue. Any other questions or anything? Okay, so on behalf of all law enforcement of Cascade County, I just urge you to help us out with this. You guys are our boss. We work for you. We understand that. You know, law enforcement isn't any more happy than the citizens are with some of the directives and some of the difficult things that are happening in our world right now. But you're our partners, and we need your help. So please, please help us with this and help this make this easier for us, because trust me, we're out here and we want to protect you, and we also want to make sure that we stay part of you and we don't have an adversarial relationship with our community. So thank you all so much for being here, and thanks to the media for covering this, and God bless you all.
Everybody off?
By the way, a mosquito flew right into my ear when I was talking.